Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Let Out. Another great episode for you. I got a list of things that we're going to talk about today, but we're going to start with a couple of topics. I'll start first with introducing my co-host Sylvia, my co-host Alicia, my co-host Chris, and me, Will, aka Bobby. All right, let's get it popping. Okay, so I want to know, one of the topics that we want to talk about is we want to talk about why would celebrities who seem to have everything going right for them want to commit suicide? Of course, we know what the backstory is on that, so we'll talk about that. Also, we want to talk about in a relationship, marriage, long-term relationship, whatever, does the mother take a backseat to the wife? And we'll get to the backstory of that. We do want to know that. So we got an interesting episode. We'll get to the surprise topic if we can, because this one might be have some longevity to it. So, all right, let's go ahead and start off and talk about celebrities. So the backstory to this topic is, of course, most recently, Tamar Braxton tried to commit suicide on the show. I mean, not on the show, but she tried to commit suicide, and that's kind of.
What happened?
Sylvia throwing me off, man. Oh, look at my guy over here. What's going on?
What up, Steve?
Reverend!
Hey, look at my guy.
What's up?
Okay, he bought a drink. Look at the king.
Hey,
Y'all been wondering who we talk about when we talk about Zeus and we talk about Steve. This is my guy. This is my guy. And she getting that service. All right, what up, Steve, my guy?
I'm gonna screenshot this. I've never got a drink with a bow tie on.
I was just gonna say, is that a bow tie and a t-shirt?
Screenshot this real quick.
Hey, man,
She's freaking my guy out.
That's exclusivity.
She got my
exclusivity on your screen.
You know he turned it on. You know he turned it on for y'all, right?
Hey, man.
Oh, he went and got dressed for his cameo.
There's a little moment in there. That's all I did. Some of y'all
We love it.
Hey.
That was up, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Good to have you throw a cameo on us, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You've been saying, at least show your face one time.
There you go. She
Appreciate
popped up on.
Of course. Of course. Y'all come on in and join us when you get ready, man. When you get ready, you can have a little couple seconds to sit beside and join us and talk with us.
We might work.
That.
We might work. No doubt.
There you go. That'll work.
I'll let y'all get it on. Nice seeing you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, we want to talk about Tamar and the suicide thing, and just kind of see what celebrities are thinking of and what happens when you seem like from the outside looking in that everything's going okay. So I'll start with Chris. So tell me what you think about the whole, just suicide in general, not even just Tamar, but suicide from celebrities in particular.
All right, so suicide for celebrities, honestly, I'm not going to say I can understand, because that's definitely the wrong term right there. What I will say is, the reality is I understand wanting a moment to yourself, and I think that's something celebrities don't get. Everything literally is in the public light. That's a lot of stress right there. I can understand the point of being stressed, wanting a moment to yourself, coming to a point where you're saying, like, you know what, man, I really just want to be normal for a day. But when you sign up to be a celebrity, that's out the window. There's perks that come with celebrities, but with everything, there's pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to everything. So for suicide in general, I'm kind of not a fan of the saying, God won't put more on you than you can bear, because if that was the case, there wouldn't be suicide, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I think that sometimes people are pushed to a point that where it at least in the moment, it is more than what they can bear. Whether it's internal factors, from our perspective, we'll always say, oh man, that's little shit. That's small things to a giant, especially considering the means and the things that you have. You're like, it can't be that bad. But, I think like with us and Will, you just muted your stuff. But in addition to that, it's kind of like, everybody has their own battles to deal with, and of course, what's always in front of you is going to be the biggest or the most important to you. That other people, normal people like us, might not see.
I got you. So I'm curious. What's your take on it, Alicia? Because just judging from what Chris said is basically, and he raised a good point that if it wasn't more than they can bear, then why are they seemingly committing the suicide? So is it more than they can bear? I know they say also, to whom much is given, much is expected. So I do understand that as well. So just kind of speak about your take on that as well.
Sure. I think that we forget that at the end of the day, sometimes these celebrities are humans. And so before they became a celebrity, they were regular people with regular lives, with regular issues, family issues, childhood trauma, unresolved trauma that they're now coming into this celebrity status and light with that they still haven't actually dealt with. So when you try to pacify those things with fame, with money, houses, jewelry, whatever those same issues are, they're still there. That money and that celebrity didn't make it go away. And a lot of times I think about even Tamar, since we kind of are mentioning her.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things with her is you can see even on the show that they have some big issues in their family that have been unresolved and that have hunted them for years and still hunt them.
What kind of issues do you think?
It goes from childhood. It goes to their dad cheating on their mom. Their mom still had kind of, to me, pitted them against either pick me or your dad. They picked their mom because dad, he was a preacher. He committed adultery. And the mom held that over him and had them hold it over his head also. And the mom is still angry even right now to this day when you watch the show, and they're adults now in their 40s. What is Tamar, almost 50 if she's not already? And the mom still has so much pain and anger from it, and it's trickled down to their kids and how they even deal with their spouses and relationships. I think there was a Iyanla episode. I'm not sure, probably Sylvia may have seen it, but one of the things, yeah, one of the things Tamar said before they started filming was that she didn't want to talk about being molested.
She was molested
as a little girl. Yeah. And so she said she made it perfectly clear, like, hey, this is not going to be a subject on the show.
Right.
And lo and behold, they get on the show, you're filming in front of the world. So tell me about when you were molested, how that has affected you, why it makes you like, and it's like, fuck, I haven't even dealt with that yet. And now you've put me on blast in front of the world to deal with something that's unresolved, on top of all the other things I have going on top of the fact that I'm now getting a divorce from my husband, I'm being a single mother, like, and they have to deal with it in front of the world. So we have issues, and you may have to go ahead and put on a brave face and you go to work, but when you go out in public or you're at home, you're able to kind of deal with those issues, kind of work through them and move on. They go out in public, they're expected to put on a face. You have to still continue to perform. There is no stopping because the money got to keep coming. You stop touring, that's your money.
But don't we have to do the same thing?
Perform every day. To a certain extent, like if I'm in a mood, I can go to work and I don't got to talk to no motherfucking body. And it is what it is. And I can do my job. I just want to be left alone to do my job. But with them, we the fans, I want a picture. Don't have an attitude, because now I'm going to go ahead and write up a whole write-up about you on how you acted and you behaved out in public. Now people hate you. They think your attitude is nasty. They don't get that moment to just go ahead and to breathe. And then I think they also have all these people around them that really don't have their best interests at heart. So instead of saying, hey, you need to go ahead and take a few moments for yourself, go through counseling, get some time together. Right now, this is not a good time to tour. It's keep going and going. I think about Meg Thee Stallion. You know, right when she was kind of getting to the pinnacle of her career, her mom died. There was literally no big lapse of time between her mom died and go perform. Because now you have a single that's big, and now we need you to be on tour. We need you at every show, every interview. And it's like, damn, my mom, I just lost her, but she had to put that on back burner. So when she interviewed the other day on her live, and she was saying that the way she dealt with it, basically put it on the back burner. I'm gonna surround myself with all these people who really are not my friends, because they keep me laughing, keep her drinking, keep her having a good time, and you don't really have to focus on it and deal with the pain of what happened.
Okay.
And so, you know, that kind of was trickled down to her being around maybe in company that didn't have her best interest when she got shot. She was just saying like, hey, I was not surrounding myself with people that really cared for me. I was hanging around anybody to kind of just numb that pain.
Yeah,
So I
get
think
it.
that can cause issues with them too, because they have so many yes people
Suicide though.
around them.
Oh yeah. Let's
It's
reel it back in
possible.
for
Yeah,
let's reel it back in.
No, I'm just saying like suicide though.
It
Like I mean,
is because if you have already all of these issues stacked up, that one something can seem so big so much when you put it on top of something, and it causes everything to go ahead and to break and to fall apart.
I
So in
got
that
you.
moment, this one thing that might not be big to us, when it's stacked on top of all of these other unresolved issues that I'm bringing to the table,
It becomes a
yes,
problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
Sylvia.
it's
seem
the
like
straw that does
it's
break the camel's back.
it is.
Okay, Sylvia, what's your take?
I agree with Chris and Alicia both, but I want to add too also what they're saying in the sense that not only do you have all those other issues that you have to deal with publicly, you have now with social media, you have a bunch of people trolling, people that don't even know you, people
Right.
that only see a portion of you and have come to this conclusion and are literally, you know, on social media, whether it's their own personal post or they're on your post, on your, you know, your status or your Instagram
Right.
post, or even on Twitter, and they're literally tearing you down. Like, you know, and you know, sticks and stones, sticks may hurt you, but words, yeah, after a certain amount of times, words will, you know, because after you hear it and see it for so long, you may actually start to believe that, hey, maybe
Especially when they're already punching on the insecurity you already had.
right. And I think
Yeah, I can see that.
because they feel like it's an obligation. Have an
It
obligation
is.
to use a company, have an obligation to you know, whatever other deals they have an obligation to my fans. I can't stop and take time for myself. But as normal people, we have obligations to our jobs too. However,
All right.
those with sense gonna be like, hey,
I'm gonna take a day off.
I'm taking off because and especially for me now, this is messing with my mental.
Those with sense.
I gotta take a break. Think of me or whatever you want to think of me. Do whatever you feel like you have to do.
Right.
But if I'm gone, you're gonna replace me and life gonna go on.
I got
I'm
you.
not good for my family, my kids, my husband, nobody.
Who's in charge of the stars for that star that we're talking about? Who's in charge of whether they take a break or not?
She is.
Because she's okay. So
she should know when it's time
hey, man,
You should, but a lot of times when you're that
you know where I'm going.
when you're that breadwinner though, and you have so many mouths are dependent upon you, taking that day off, you say that, but at the same time, I think about a lot of celebrities when they talk about going
she a one-person business. We get that. We get it.
Yes. So everybody is eating because of me.
Ain't you a one-person business? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I get what I know what you're saying, but yeah, you get to a point to where
fuck this shit. I'm gonna take it off.
You know, when so much is dependent on what you got going on, you're one of the main pieces of the puzzle. You pull yourself out of the puzzle.
But they also have a lot of contractual agreements that they're held to also. And that was one of the things that Tamar was upset about. Was like, hey, at one point I signed this contract and said I was gonna do this, but goddamn, I didn't think for 15 years I was gonna have to do it. So I'm obligated. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not feeling good. My mind is not right. Y'all portraying me a certain way.
Right.
I want out of this contract. And they like, fuck that shit. I mean, it's
when they throw more money at you.
We TV not throwing more money at her. Y'all know what it is.
Y'all know what it is with me. I'm on that whole situation. Like, I try to have empathy, but it's hard for me to have empathy on suicide. It's just hard. I can't have empathy on suicide because I feel like it's selfish. I feel like that's the easy way out. You have, again.
You also believe in mental illness, though. You know, she was also depressed at the time that she did that. I'm taking medicine.
I mean, suicide is selfish, but there is a moment. I mean, you should be selfish at some point.
I get it, but what type of selfish are you? You're to the point. You're selfish to no return. That's a different.
Yeah. I ain't for that. That's wrong. That's bad.
What for me? When you selfish like that, if you're saying it's so much pressure because I have so many mouths to feed, then what you think that's gonna happen when you're gone?
How many people gonna
Hey,
starve?
at least
How many people
at
gonna-
least
how many
I
people
want
gonna-
to worry
how many
about
people
it. I want
can't-
to worry about it though.
Well, that's the
If
thing.
I'm not gonna
That's
have
the thing,
depression. I'm
though.
gone. I'm
But
dead.
you still,
You
but you still,
may worry about it though. It might be
you-
something that subconsciously keeps coming back to
like,
you. I can
that's
feel
what I'm
it.
saying. Like, for
In
me,
the
I
afterlife?
can't. No,
If
I
you
mean,
know that people are starving because of decision you made, that's gonna weigh on you some.
In the afterlife,
it is.
though.
It
In
is
the
gonna.
afterlife.
It can weigh on you. But the thing about it is it does kind of go back to what you said. Like, if there's not too much on you that you can bear. See, I think what people don't do is people don't sit back and realize. People don't sit back and look at situations and just like take a moment and step out of themselves.
They
Take a
don't.
moment and step out your fucking self, man. Like, it's people out here. Let me tell you something. This is why I have hard times dealing with my empathy and suicide, is because I see it every day. You know, I see people out here fucked up, man, and they still living. Fucked up. No arms, no legs, no home, no family. Niggas out here scratching their head to the meat peel. I seen it on corners. And these people are still living. Another day, trying to eat. Another day, they out there begging. They got pain and frustration. How did they get there? But did they give up? No. They don't even probably have too many people. They didn't give up.
They may not give up, but they realize that now I don't give a fuck no more.
But I get it. But hey,
Stop.
They'll take that, then take all the pressure of I got all of this and I got all these people depending on me. But hold on, let me say this to the point where you got all these people depending on you, whether you go to work or not. Make the motherfuckers be self-sufficient. Get them off you.
Facts.
Like, you ain't enough. If they grown,
That's what I'm saying. Like, these celebrities, man, like, even with the drug thing, and you see these celebrities, oh, my life is so hectic. Oh, you know, I just got on drugs for the parties and parties. At what point you gonna be, again, self-sufficient? Depend on yourself, man. Stop. Like, what are we
be happy
doing? Like,
without drugs.
there's no, for me, getting on drugs, suicide, I don't care about the depression. Like, you know, it depends on what your reason for the depression is.
But those are things that I've been there before, whether it's been a thought. I'm not gonna go into everything that plays a part.
You certainly not depressed with that shirt on.
That's because I'm depressed right now. That's different. I could be a depressed thought too, you know.
You're looking real thoughtful of yourself.
Thoughts get sad. That over there sad. So my thing is that unless you've gotten to that point to where it seems that dark, where you feel like I have nothing, no one, your thoughts can get that dark in those moments.
When you got money,
you're
though,
able to be strong. You said what?
When you got money and
don't make you
everything,
happy.
like
that don't make you happy.
But can we say that?
Those same people that have that money.
Can we say that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
But we say that because we don't have it, so we
exactly.
But we figure but listen,
how do you know money don't make you happy? We don't have any.
Hold on, listen if you go though.
But we figure if we have it, then we'll all be good. That should let you know still you can have all this money and be this comfortable and still be miserable.
Because
I think what it is, you just focused on something else. People without money focused on getting money, and people that got money focused
on getting more money, and then they just all they become.
You're gonna find something to be stressed out.
But a lot of times you're using that money to go ahead and to be a remedy for other issues.
Go ahead and
those issues are going to still be there.
Money can't buy happiness to an extent, though.
No, that shit can buy happiness.
It can buy cars, but it can buy happiness. It can buy tangible things.
What? No, it don't have to be tangible things.
It can buy superficial shit too.
But on Will's point, I can see what you said too. However, if your mind frame is not as I'm gonna take all this money I have and make sure I have serenity, that means that I'm gonna be in my own space and I'm gonna cut these people off that I feel like are pulling on me, and those that were depending on me and it was too much, I'm gonna cut them off. But you have to have boundaries. If you have money and you don't have boundaries, then you're not. But that's even with no money. You have to have boundaries.
So you think money, so in that, we talking about depression. I get it. We're talking about suicide. But we also, in the combination, we're talking about these celebrities with the money seemingly having everything and then still committing suicide. And I get it. Some of them have deeper issues, whatever. But for the ones, for the most part, when you're talking about, oh, it's just so much pressure, the shows, the commitments.
You got money about it.
But you know what?
Send
when
that
they
shit
went into
elsewhere.
quarantine, a lot of these celebrities was like, man, this is the first time I've ever really slept in my own bed, been in
Right.
my own house. Because in order to stay on top, you got to constantly be on the move and traveling. There is not a moment. They buy these houses that they don't live in. They buy these cars that they don't even drive. They don't have
Okay.
the time to do it. So to think
Okay.
that money can go ahead and
It
to fill
can.
in and provide this sense of happiness, and you don't
It
even get to
can.
enjoy it.
It can. Again, we can't speak on that in that sense because we don't have it. For me,
I'm
from
speaking
where
for-
I'm sitting,
You
from
can't
where I'm
speak
sitting,
on
I
At
know,
least
I
you
know
got
you
it,
got
fool.
money.
She's
I
sitting
know
in
you
a
kinda-
damn Bentley
I know
right
you-
now, fool.
I
She
know you
got it.
kind of got a little paper, but I'm saying for the most of us, for the other three of us, we can't speak on it. We don't know what it's like to have that much money to say that it doesn't make you happy. For me, judging by what I view as happiness, which is being able to have my mom happy, which is being able to have her worry free, which is being able to pay her bills so that she is
Yeah.
worry free.
Now, let me ask you, then why is it that most people that were
things-
broke and that won the lottery, why is it that they say that their life was worse off after the money?
But you know why?
Because people are
because the
big.
motherfucker don't got a sense enough to say no.
They don't create,
Yeah.
and that's my whole thing. You have
They
to
ain't never, that was a boundary they never had to draw in the past.
Facts. They
You
never
have to
said no
create-
to the family.
They didn't have a reason to say no. They ain't had shit to say no about.
Facts. Unless they were saying, hey, nah, can you go to Wendy's with me? No, ain't got no money. So, other than that,
What you say, Sylvia?
You have to create boundaries. I don't care if
Hey, don't cut us off.
If you don't have boundaries, what you saying?
No, I was talking to don't gangster me, black woman. I was talking to the other black woman who cut us off.
I saw Sylvia. Sylvia was constantly trying to say something. And I was like, oh.
Okay, but at the end of the
That's
day,
how you do us, Bob. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, if you don't have boundaries set, period, whether you have money or you don't have money, if you don't have boundaries set,
right,
you're gonna always overstep them. You're gonna always feel obligated.
That's a fact. So it still boils down to me, I just don't get it. I mean, maybe I will once I'll come back and tell y'all if I get famous and I get the money, I'll be like, you know what? I see. But right now,
But I don't never want to be famous.
So many of us are trying to judge from the outside in about why they should be happy and so forth. Again, at the end of the day, like I said before, they are still regular human beings, just with a higher bank account.
They are regular who?
Human beings with a bigger bank account.
They're regular human beings with a bigger bank account. So we shouldn't feel like what?
No, who's? And I'm gonna move on to the next subject. But who's like? What's the idea of happiness when you come on to Earth? There's only a few things in life, right? There's luxury in life as far as eating good, traveling, family. Nice cars, houses, ain't shit else in life. Spirituality, that's it. There's only certain forms of the things that's gonna make you happy.
Like 5 or 10.
We all chase the same things that are considered happiness. Now, whether that be my parents and my siblings in a good position to do for themselves, my children set for life, I'm making good money, whether it's I got a relationship with the Lord or whether it's whatever, there's only certain things that make you happy. So if you get the money piece of it and you got your spirituality, if that's what you got, the fuck you chasing, man? Like, what's gonna make you happy? So when you tell me that money don't make you happy, man, fuck is you looking for in life then? Because all the things that you're trying to get,
other shit to chase.
all the things that you're trying to get gonna take some money to get it. Even church, when you're trying to get a spirituality, pastor up there asks for 12, 10% for. So at the end of the day, I don't.
Yo, 10% in the church. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying money. Everything, money has something to do.
Yeah, money rules all shit. Money make the world go around. That's the end of the story. That's the end all be all.
If you're saying I want a better life for my kids, guess what's gonna take?
Money in there.
Yeah.
Money's on all topics.
I'm just saying.
All I know is when we went to Jamaica, and I came back and I was unable to work.
With the cone lips.
The cone melon.
The whole point of that is that as broke as they were with these mud houses, slab homes, and literally it was rough. But they were the happiest people that I've ever encountered in my life. And we couldn't, and it wasn't like
because they smoke weed.
At at the end
They
of the day,
have
money is
appreciation.
And I know we
Money-
need to move on to the next topic.
for the
They
small
have
things.
appreciation for what they have.
All right. Okay.
And they don't. When you're chasing something, you see, especially being an American, we see the bigger the better and what the next person got. Them folks ain't looking
What we
up to
think.
got much more than they do.
They ain't doing nothing. They got all this money. They like, people look at their lives and they be like, oh man, they got a fabulous life. What the fuck they going? To the grocery store and to the movies and to an award show occasionally, just like I am. Ain't doing shit. Anyway, they just got a better dress and a better suit.
Get
on
get better, Tamar.
Get better. No, I don't want anything.
I'm
No
rooting
ill will. No
I'm
ill
rooting
will
for you.
toward her, but I just don't understand why a celebrity with everything.
Yeah, and as a regular person, we ain't gonna understand.
we may not.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
so
Your
should
I be her everything. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
no, you good. Let me talk, Sylvia. Should mothers take a backseat to the wife? Oh, this is gonna be a good one. We got like 8 minutes. Let's talk about this. And I'm gonna start with Alicia so I can cut her off. Go ahead.
What?
You know your ass here witness with the things, but go ahead.
Now go ahead. What you think?
I think in all things that there's a boundary, there's a level of respect that you both have to have for each other. And then also, but I know that the Bible says that when a man findeth a wife, he leaveth his mother and father, and he becomes one with his wife. So as far as that hierarchy is concerned, at that point, the wife does have to become one of the most important things outside of God in his life. Okay. But like the video we saw where the girl was having a heart attack about the mama riding in the front seat.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's neither here nor there. Like, it was obviously other back issues, something else that had gone on between them that played into that whole episode.
Right.
But for me, if my mother-in-law, if we're getting ready to go somewhere, and my first thing is, okay, you can go ahead and get the front seat. And it's not saying that this is the most important woman in his life, but this is his mother. I do have respect for her as that position. And then she's also my elder. Right. So I have no problem with going ahead and allowing her to sit in this front seat and not get my ass in the back. But I will say this, as his wife, she always goes ahead.
I mean, all of y'all could probably fit in the front seat of that.
And then I kind of feel like, you remember the movie The Wood? When Stacy told dude, you better get your ass in that back seat before you get your ass beat. You know what it is.
Yeah, but hey, so Chris, what you think? You think as from a man's perspective, would you
from a man's perspective, and women, y'all gonna have to understand this. Yes, a guy will. It's two different levels to it. Just the reality of it is, but every kid, male or female, is brought up to understand, or at least for the most part, that their mom, from the time that you're born, is the most important person in your life, even from a natural selections perspective. That's the person who gave you life. You know, if we're talking natural shit, they feed you, they give you life from their body. I'm referencing breastfeeding. They're the person that just takes care of you, because the reality of it is, society is dad ain't that guy. He ain't that guy.
My wife might breastfeed too. I'm just saying. But
yeah,
go ahead.
Hey, but she came later. So this,
I got you.
But then again, you know, new titties are better than old titties.
I'm just saying.
We have said that before.
We have said that. Okay, so Sylvia, what's your thoughts, Sylvia?
I think, like Alicia said, there were underlying issues that propelled that situation to go to the point that it was. Because I think just in a normal situation, you know, where, you know, there's a mother-in-law and a wife, I don't foresee it being that serious. Like, you know, you're gonna respect your spouse's parent. You know, you know, y'all don't sit well all the time or not. You know, there's a disagreement. Just out of respect, you know, you're gonna respect them. And from what I seen at the beginning of the video, she was already sitting in the car in the front seat. What was the issue with you hopping in the back and rolling on to where I was going? Like,
because you the wife and you feel like he put you in front.
So that he knew then it was more underlying issues than just that.
So what about other things? Let's take the back seat out of it. Let's talk about other things. Now, before I do that, I want to give my take on it, just so we can go into that part of the topic. So my take is basically, that's my mom. Fuck out of here. I don't care. She came before you. Get the fuck over it. Knock it off. She came
Ain't that what I said?
She came
I feel
before
like that's
you.
what I said. She came
At
first.
the end of the day, 'cause
No.
there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy because at the end of the day, without her,
There's
there
no
would be
me.
no me.
But
Without
keep,
it's just like,
also keep in mind, when you talk about this hierarchy, when your mom is gone,
okay, now you step in the other part of that hierarchy.
There is
You can't
no.
replace mom. You can't
Hey,
replace
there ain't two
mom.
kings.
You
Hey,
can't replace mom. You cannot replace
Hey.
mom. So stop trying.
Nobody's
the king
trying
gotta die for the prince to become king.
Facts.
Nobody
It's
is
just like I'm gonna tell you this. That's just like when
listen, nobody's trying to replace your mom.
she is.
Okay, understand that. Nobody's trying to replace your mom. However, when it comes to decision making with stuff going on in your life, guess as your wife,
That's a little bit different.
nothing.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Come to.
It's
No,
different.
that's a
Because
little bit different.
listen, if it's a matter of life and death and you're in the hospital, the doctor's not gonna go to your mama because your mama gave you life and she gave you your titty first. The doctor's gonna go to your wife and say, what is the decision? So your wife makes the final decision if you're on your last leg, whether you
Why
live
is
or die.
that? Why is that?
Because
It ain't because
Exactly. It's just illegal. That's a legal
exactly.
thing.
They ain't got shit to do with the fact that at the end of the day, that's my mama. You ain't.
Yeah, my mom is always gonna be moving my best interest.
You're not my mom.
Your ass might have an underlying motive.
Your
You're
wife
not my
got
mom.
decided. Your
No, you're not my
Y'all
mom.
some damn mama's
No,
boy.
no, it's not. It's just
It
that's
is.
just hierarchy. It's just like it's just
Well,
like
you
I put it to
know
you like
what?
this. Hold up.
No,
I didn't finish. No, I didn't finish. Don't cut me off, Bob. I mean, Alicia, don't cut me off.
shut up.
So check this out. No, seriously though, when it's just like when, and this may sound petty to the thousands of views that we have, but this may
Speak it
sound
into
petty.
existence.
Right. This is petty. This may sound petty, but when I go downstairs and I get ready to eat, and I look and I see Shay fixing August a plate every time first. I'm like, the fuck is you doing? If I don't eat and I'm not nourished, then none of y'all fucking eat. You need to make sure I'm healthy because here's the future. I get it. Hold on, I get it. Here's the future.
I'm you now.
Here's the future. I get it. But the future ain't guaranteed.
I'm now.
Right now, today, my check was guaranteed because I went to work and made it. So if I don't eat and I can't go to work, then he don't eat, and you don't eat.
You don't eat.
We don't
You
have
don't
a roof
eat.
over our head. Think about that before you get to thinking like, oh yeah. So what's happening then? The kid is replacing the husband because now you feel like he should eat first. That's not it. The same thing with my mom. You don't replace my mom. My mom was here first. Now,
Who's trying to replace your mom?
That's
Who's
what I'm
trying
You're
to
trying to
replace her?
replace. The only reason this is even a topic because you want to replace the important.
You
Right.
need to start
That's the only
going
reason this
through
even a
Ethel
topic.
if that's the case. Shit, if she
Huh?
number one in your life, go fuck Ethel. If that's
What
the
you
case,
mean?
go
She
fuck
is
her.
number one
I
in my
gotta
life.
say what I said.
See, because you feeling some kind of way.
Because you feeling some
You feeling some
kind
kind
of
of
way.
way.
Now it boils down to sex because you know I can't fuck my mama. Now
I
it
mean,
boils down to
that's
sex.
listen,
That's
if
the
you want
last
to,
resort. Well,
shit.
fuck your mama then. Okay. I tell you what.
That's some bullshit.
When you say something about somebody else, I'm gonna tell you, go to that nigga and get it.
I
that's
mean,
my
might
mama.
just do it.
That's my mama.
Exactly.
That's my mama. At the end of the day,
I
the
blame
reason,
mothers.
hold up.
I
My
blame
mama
the
is the
mother
reason.
who
My
is
mama
sleeping
is
in
the
their son's
reason.
head.
No, my mama is the reason that I
Yes.
married you. The mama is the reason I married you. She instilled in me the right values to have a wife and know how to treat her. So without her, there
And,
would
and
be no
cheat
you.
on her too,
No.
right?
No, there would be
Oh,
no
there you
you.
go with that shit.
So
I
if your
said what I
mom,
said.
wait a minute. So if your mom instilled the value
Zoom,
on
zoom.
how to treat a woman, then why do she not
Part two.
understand that your wife comes first? So she missed something on instilling.
No, she didn't. She told you
Yes.
right. Mama comes
Oh,
first.
she did. No, she did.
All
All
right.
right. Zoom.
Wait till one of y'all sons put y'all ass second.
Facts.
I've been second. It's my son's first girlfriend.
Hey, you
I
mad? You
get
big
it.
man.
Which one,
You
the
mad
baby
right now? It's in your eyebrows. You mad right now?
She mad.
I try to give y'all a better
Like,
eyebrow this
Comment,
week, okay? So don't
subscribe.
do
There
that.
will be a part 2 to this because we got to go in. Thank you guys for watching.
Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.